Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we continue the series of What If Piccolo joined RADITZ. Before we get started, I hope you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon to be informed of any future what ifs. If we hit the like goal of 40 likes, I will start making the next part. And if you have any what if suggestions for me, write down in the comments, and if I see enough interest, I'll do it. Also, thank you guys for 1000 subs. I never thought I would reach this far in so little time, since 2 videos ago I just posted my 500 sub special. And now I have 1000. So thank you guys for the support on this channel. It really means a lot to me. Okay, now let's continue with this story. Vegeta has been defeated. He calls his space pod, and when he realizes that RADITZ and Piccolo are also alive, he calls their pods as well. And while RADITZ enters his pod, Piccolo hesitates for a bit, and he finally makes his decision and just destroys the pod. And Vegeta is livid. Piccolo also betrayed him? He can't take more of this, and he just leaves the planet with RADITZ. The others are still suspicious about Piccolo. Gohan tries to convince them, but then they hear a voice who says that to give him a chance as well, and they see behind them it was Goku, who somehow managed to stand up even with all his injuries. He says that he trusts Piccolo. Yes, maybe he did kill him, but he forgives him since he just basically saved Kami and Krillin's life. And if Gohan trusts him, he can trust Piccolo. But before he can talk more, he passes out due to his injuries. So the Saiyans have been defeated. And while Kami is alive, which means the Dragon Balls are here too, but the problem is that Chaozu already died, and he cannot be bring back with the Dragon Balls. And they also had to wait a couple of months until they regenerate. But Piccolo says something that may be interesting for everyone. From his time being with the Saiyans, he has heard about his home planet called Planet Namek, and there should be even more powerful Dragon Balls, so maybe they can also bring back Chaozu and the others. So they all agree with the plan. Kami informs Bulma that they can use his ship that he arrived, and Bulma begins repairing it. Gohan returns to his home and is feeling a bit nervous. It has been almost 2 years since he has seen his mother, but when he opens the door and Chi-Chi sees him, she immediately hugs him, crying. Goku told her what happened, and she's really happy to see him again. She apologizes. If she'd allowed Goku to train him, maybe he would have never been kidnapped. Gohan does not blame her mother, but he promises he'll never be weak again, so no one can take him from her. After a couple of weeks, Kami's ship is ready to go, and who are going will be Piccolo, Kami, Krillin, and Bulma as well, since no one can pilot the ship besides her. Gohan decides to stay back because he still wants to stay with his father and to spend more time with him, and he's a bit conflicted to go back in space right now, so he'll make his decision when Goku recovers. So the group of Kami, Piccolo, Krillin, and Bulma go to Namek. They're still a bit conflicted about Piccolo, but since he did save them, they have to trust him, and after a couple of months, they do arrive at Planet Namek. When they exit the ship, Kami and Piccolo feel nostalgic, like they've been here before, but they can't think about that, because when they begin to sense everyone's power levels, they can sense a huge one. It's even stronger than Vegeta, and Piccolo knows whose energy is that. That is Frieza. And they can sense another 2 power levels arriving at the planet, and these are familiar for everyone. It is Vegeta and RADITZ, who have just been healed up after leaving Earth, and when they found out that Frieza is after the Dragon Balls, they decide to go Namek themselves. Of course, Kui tries to stop them, but the two easily defeat him and just leave. The gang is wondering what to do now, and then some goons attack and destroy their ship. Piccolo and Kami are easily able to dismantle the soldiers, but now they're worried because now they can't actually leave this planet. But they are still able to send a message to Earth and to explain the situation. After that, they first decide to find shelter, where they find a cave, and Piccolo and Kami decide to go to one of the Namekian villages to maybe able to find a Dragon Ball. So they fly off, leaving Krillin with Bulma. When they arrive in a nearby village, the powerful energy is now visible, and Piccolo confirms it. That is Frieza. It seems like he's torturing the villagers to give him the Dragon Ball, and after some time, they do give him, but they still kill the elder Of course, the both are enraged, but Piccolo says they need to stay down because there's no way they can fight Frieza at their current level. But when they see that now ready to kill a Namekian child, they both had enough. Piccolo kicks Dodoria away, and Kami quickly picks up the kid, and the three fly away as far as he can. Frieza tells Dodoria to get after them, and Dodoria does, but Frieza thinks about that one Namekian he saw, and reminds him of that Namekian he met. But where did he met him? He can't put a finger on it. The three Namekians are trying to escape from Dodoria, and Piccolo actually suggests something. They're far enough from Frieza, and since they don't have their scouters, they won't be able to sense the power. And they should be more than enough to take this guy down. So they just stop in the wastelands, and Dodoria thinks that they're now ready to give up. But the two Namekians smile and both power up, and Kami activates Kaioken 10-5, and they rush in. And since they're basically the same person, their synergy is pretty good, and with their power combined, they're able to easily defeat Dodoria and kill him. After that, they run away again, because they know Vegeta and Raditz will sense their energy, and they did arrive at their location, but all they see is Dodoria's dead body on the ground, and they are wondering who did it. They should be more on guard if they're Namekians who are strong enough to kill Dodoria, and they fly off. They come back to the cave, and Krillin and Bulma are surprised to see another Namekian, and then they're surprised to hear the truth that the two Namekians are actually from here. They say that they're from a planet called Earth, and they're here to collect the Dramos to revive their friends. Then they again thanks them and says it could be a good idea to go to the Grand Elder's place. He probably would know what to do, and Krillin decides to stay back just in case. So Piccolo, Kami, and Dede fly off to Guru's house. While that was happening, Frieza is just flying around the planet, blindly looking for villagers since he has lost their scouters. But he's getting a bit suspicious that Dodoria hasn't come back yet, and there was no word from him for now. So he sends Zarbon to go check him out, and while he was searching, he encountered Raditz and Vegeta, and he suspects that they killed Dodoria. But they said it wasn't them, they just found his body. But Zarbon just thinks that they're lying, and begins to fight. Of course, with Vegeta and Raditz together, they're able to easily beat Zarbon, and even when he transforms, the results are the same, since Vegeta is way stronger than he was when he arrived at Namek, and he also has Raditz with him, so they're able to easily defeat Dodoria. But before they kill him, they interrogate him about the Dragon Balls, and fearing for his life, Zarbon tells them that Frieza has some Dragon Balls on his ship, but there's no way they'll get them, since he's protecting them personally. After that information, they kill him, and now they're trying to think of a plan of how to get the Dragon Balls, and they get the perfect idea. They did manage to get one of the Dragon Balls and hide it in the ocean so Frieza won't get it. And of course, Frieza will go after them eventually since he will need the information about it. So they play a tricky situation for Frieza. They fly off to Frieza's ship, and when they arrive, since there is no scouters, they haven't been detected yet. So they do their massive plan and shoot a blast at each other right in the chest. And Frieza hears the commotion, and when he goes outside, he sees a bloody Raditz and Vegeta who are on the brink of death. Of course, Frieza wouldn't mind killing them, but he does need them for the information about the Dragon Ball. So sadly, he's gonna need to save these two monkeys. So he picks them up and places them both on a healing tank, so they can recover. Back at our heroes, the three Namekians just arrived at Guru's place, and they're welcomed by Nail and allows them to go outside. But he is a bit suspicious about Piccolo since he still has some evil in him, but then he says to trust him since he did save his life, so they're all allowed to go. And they meet the Grand Elder. Kami and Nail bow in respect, while Piccolo just stands, and Guru is grateful for them for saving Dende, and he wants to read their minds. Piccolo is reluctant for this elder to read his mind, but Kami allows it. And the Grand Elder can see that this is the child of Katas, who managed to escape the deadly drought that has been seized on their planet for some years. And that they see their intentions are pure, and he allows them to take the Dragon Balls. But before they leave, he wants to give them something, and to unlock Kami's and Piccolo's hidden power. Of course, Kami does accept, and from hearing that he'll gain more power, Piccolo also accepts it. And both of their potentials are unleashed, but Piccolo's potential unleashed has a weird side effect. It's not just give him a power boost, but he gets some kind of transformation, and they're completely blown back by his sheer power. Even Guru's surprised and is impressed with how much potential he had. Even mentions that that's not even his limit of potential, and it could be something beyond his current transformation. Now, also, if you're wondering why Kami did not get the potential unleashed form, well, my theory is that if a warrior clan Namekian gets his potential unleashed, they will get the ultimate form. But for the Dragon Clan member, they gain a power boost and the ability to heal, which means while Kami did not get ultimate, he still gets the power boost and the ability to heal. Guru also does mention that if the two become one again, their power should be able to defeat even Frieza, but they don't want to risk it, since if they fuse, the Dragon Balls may disappear. But they're still confident with this power, they should be able to get the rest of the Dragon Balls. They thank Grand Elder Guru and they tell Dende to stay here, and they take the Dragon Ball and go back to Bulma. And when they leave, Nail thinks to himself, maybe he should ask the Grand Elder to unlock his potential so he could get that power. Back with the Saiyans, when they eventually recover, they make a huge distraction, and when Frieza came to check on them, they were long gone and have taken all the Dragon Balls, and now Frieza is livid. First they kill Zarbon and Dodoria, now they steal the Dragon Balls, and I guess it's time to call the Ginyu Force, he says to himself. When the Saiyans get a good distance away from the ship, they count the amount of Dragon Balls, and they realize that there is only one left. And they can sense two energies flying, and it's possible that they have a Dragon Ball. And while they can sense that they are quite strong, with this new Zenkai boost, they should be able to handle them. So they fly towards them. Of course, it was Piccolo and Kami who have just returned with a Dragon Ball. Bulma's surprised to see the size of the Namekian Dragon Balls. And they see that Krillin is not with her, and they ask where he is. And she tells them that they managed to pick up one Dragon Ball that was just laying on the ground. So Krillin went to pick it up. They are glad, but then they can sense two energies coming towards them, and they're too familiar to them. Raditz and Vegeta. Vegeta looks at Piccolo, and he's surprised and angered. He was never a big fan of Piccolo, but he still never thought he would betray them after he accepted him and Kakarot brat to the group. But Piccolo isn't having it. He has changed, and he doesn't want to harm any innocents again, and that's not the true path to power. And for his first step of redemption, he's going to defeat Vegeta. He laughs. Really, he wants to see him try. Kami says that he can handle Raditz, and Piccolo can fight Vegeta. They both power up, and Piccolo transforms to his ultimate form, and Kami unleashes Kaioken times 7, which briefly stuns the two Saiyans, but they're not too intimidated, and they fly towards each other, ready for battle. But that's where we'll leave off this part of What If Piccolo Joined Raditz. I'm sorry I've not continued this series in a while, since I'm still more focused on the collab with Kuro, but I hope you still enjoyed the video. As always, if you have any what if suggestion for me, write down in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, and if this video reaches 40 likes, I will make the next part, and I'll see you guys in my next video.